Hello and welcome to Crypto Invest TV. I'm your host, X8, followed by the Underdoge, and let's get into it. So, first things first, as always, we'll go ahead and briefly check over the market before we start getting into some of these topics. Bitcoin is currently sitting at 33,895.99. Looks like it reached a high yesterday at about 35,970, which is where it started to have its decline. Today's high would be 34,564, and today's low thus far was 33,140. I actually remember when I was looking at my exchange, and I remember seeing that exact number. I thought to myself, maybe I should buy a little bit. That's kind of funny. But anyways, um, moving on to Ethereum, we'll go ahead and check them out. There we go. So they're currently sitting at 22.25. Looks like yesterday they reached a high of 23.89, with today's high being 23.09 and then the low being 21.58. Going to BNB, it looks like they've been doing a little bit better in comparison to some of the other ones. At least they were earlier. We can see that they had a high of 314 yesterday, with their current high being 307, with the low being 292. Currently sitting at 303, but it looks like they're trying to have an uptrending day past it looks like this mass sell-off that they had here when it hit about 305. Then it hit 307, and it looks like they're currently fighting to try and keep it above 300. Let's go ahead and check out ADA. So they're currently sitting at $1.41. Yesterday, it looked like they reached about a high of $1.49. Today's high was $1.43, with the low being $1.37. So they're actually relatively close to trying to get close back to their high today, and we'll have to see where that goes. How interesting. We'll go ahead and take a look at Dogecoin. So they're currently sitting at 23 cents. 0.2, and then yesterday it looked like they were at about a high of about 25.5, with today being their high of 24.4, with the low being 22.5. So kind of dropping down. If we pull out a little bit, we can see that going basically from the third to now, we stayed pretty level with some high spikes, but we're currently seeing a bit of a downtrend with some leveling out right now, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. A lot of people talking about XRP, so I figured we can go ahead and take a look at that. They are currently sitting at 65 cents, 0.8. Looks like their high yesterday was about 70 cents, with their current high being about, looks like 68 cents. Yeah, 68.2. And then with their low being 64.5. So looks like they had a massive uptrend from about the third to let's see, to the fourth after midnight, or no, afternoon. And it looks like, unfortunately, after they hit that 70-cent high, they started to have a downtrend, and then I think probably there was some fear in the market, because then they had a mass sell-off, and looks like they're currently trying to build back up. So that's how the market's looking like right now. How do you feel about all this, Underdoge?
Uh, I feel pretty good about it. Not even gonna lie. The charts don't look too bad. I mean, we see, they're really not where we want to see them, but at least the roofs are raised a little bit on, the support and resistance. So, I mean, at least they have some room to wiggle. I feel that we're going to see a lot of good play here. That's XRP that we're staring at. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know, how much play we're going to see in XRP. Obviously, it's, it gets its trading value. But I think we're going to start seeing a little more activity in Dogecoin here relatively soon. And I think we're going to start seeing some more activity here in Ethereum. I know that there's some, countries that are kind of like banning certain deposits and like leverage trading. So like options and things of that nature, like futures and stuff like that, right? On Binance, so pretty much you can just buy and hold, and sell, right?
Right.
So, despite that, though, I still think that Binance is going to thrive here real soon. I don't see Binance dying anytime soon. Regardless, I just see them actually evolving here. And these countries that are doing this to their citizens, it's only going to hurt them in the long run. We'll see what happens here in the days coming. But I think that ADA and VeChain and Ethereum, along with Dogecoin, those four for sure definitely are going to be some of the top runners here real soon.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, they're going to explode. And regardless of how much, okay, so we've seen a lot of money being put into the market before all the Elon Musk stuff and all this crap. I kind of see that coming back. And I'm not saying the Elon Musk crap. I'm talking about the rise in the money that's going to be dumped back into the market. I've heard some talk about how, crypto could be bad for the future. And I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no. I don't think crypto is bad for the future, in my opinion. But with all this crazy, government trying to regulate every exchange and, tell you what's allowed in their country on your exchange or, stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of we're kind of seeing like a little bit of a chokehold being applied, right? Some pressure. And I think they're just trying to apply some pressure to get us to fold into, the way they want the crypto markets to be. So, with everything that's going on behind the scenes, it's really hard to say exactly how the market's going to portray in the next couple of weeks or even months, because we don't know what's going to happen, not even tomorrow, with, the government. So, but I definitely see a comeback happening here soon.
Yeah, I think we're primarily going to be waiting until around like mid-July.
Yeah. All right. So here in America, mostly depends on what, All right. So a lot of people are understanding, how stocks work, right? And they work kind of with an economic feature to them, right? They track economic features, right? So they go up, they go down based on markets in the economy. And so crypto does kind of play into that same field as well. Just because, now, especially with all these tokens that are charity specific and stuff like that, we're really going to start seeing them fluctuate based on the markets and based on the industries that they're aimed at to, whatever their use case is for. So I kind of see us like slipping into like a mimic of what the stock market is. Um, and supply and demand is really going to be the factor here, obviously. Uh, how much demand is for the coin and obviously the supply, But I think that the government look it's weird to say it, right? Because the way I'm looking at it is I see that if the government does impose these restrictions, right, it will increase the demand for things in a sense because technically it's illegal, right? So like when they made marijuana illegal in the United States, the demand went through the roof.
Yeah.
Or like when we were going through the Boston Tea Party, the alcohol banning and stuff of that nature. Once they
You mean
banned alcohol,
prohibition?
yeah, prohibition, yeah, same shit. You
Boston
know,
Tea Party was about tea.
yeah. Well, I'm also not in. I'm kind of got like a thousand, 150,000 things scrolling through my brain at the same time. So
We're gonna
trying
give
to
you a
just.
pass. Don't worry about it. Continue.
All right. So yeah, let's. I'll definitely uh uh find a way to gain myself back on that one. So prohibition, right? So when they made alcohol legal in the United States, uh, they were the demand went right through the roof for it. People were making distilleries in their backyards and all sorts of crap. I mean, so it could work in our favor and it could work totally against us. And I feel it's going to be a 50-50 of both. So it's really hard to just say where the market's going to be, especially with, what these people are trying to do right now behind their closed doors. So
Yeah, I don't disagree. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll move into our first topic of the day. Let me go ahead and get ourselves set up. So,
yeah, crazy
Wyoming.
going on, man.
Wyoming is the first U.S. state to approve a DAO, consolidating its crypto-friendly reputation. It says Wyoming has legalized a decentralized anonymous organization (DAO) with effect from July 1st, marking another in a series of steps that have made the state the most crypto-friendly jurisdiction in the United States. American Crypto Fed (DAO), which runs a stablecoin on its network, has received approval from the state to operate as a distinct type of limited liability company, according to a company statement on Sunday. Wyoming is the first state to have legalized a DAO. DAOs are effectively pieces of code on on a blockchain that execute a process automatically when a series of conditions are met without the need of any outside decision making or interference, which means that which what this means is that creating a true digital currency with mass acceptance now is possible. Marian Orr, CEO of American Crypto Fed DAO. Um, the
I mean,
decision, huh?
Dogecoin exists.
Huh?
I said Dogecoin already exists.
No, DAO.
I was just making a joke though.
Oh.
they said that finding
Oh, I got you. I got you.
yeah, making that currency that is possible. Not well, Dogecoin already exists.
Right. It says the decision Wyoming made further legitimizes it as a state that welcomes cryptocurrencies, a sentiment that is in line with its pro-crypto senator Cynthia Loomis. A recent survey by CryptoHead showed a majority of people see the United States as the country most interested in trading and investing cryptocurrencies. Wyoming is leading the way to create legal certainty in the crypto space, John Dretchny says. Um, he is the CEO of Merchant Advisory Group that represents 165 of the biggest U.S. merchants. We see the path in which merchants will have more choices of payment for acceptance, he added. So, essentially, you're seeing that there's a company that is involved with cryptocurrency. They have a stable coin, it's on an automatic system. And the state of Wyoming has essentially, gone and made it to where they can be a, limited liability company, which is, pretty fantastic when you consider the fact that, we don't have a lot of, major companies for crypto. I mean, there's plenty of them out there, but what I'm saying is that are recognized as, I guess you would say like as, a legitimate company, right? And I think
Well,
the more that we
well,
get into the more that we get, like this legal establish, establishment, then I think that's when we'll see things kind of start to slowly here over, like we were saying about the mid-month, we're going to see things slowly start to get more positive.
well. See, the thing about that is though, is that if you actually, poke your head into a lot of these token companies and, go and check out on some of their websites, right? You will notice that most of them have an LLC or a business license to do business as this company name. So I see a lot of them doing that as a safe net, just in case, and saying, hey, look, we are a business. I see a lot of these companies doing that because they're offering a service, so to speak. Not necessarily like coming over and cleaning your house or anything, kind of service, but they're offering a product too, like Moon Nation Gaming, right? They're a gaming company. They're coming out with a game called Moon Nation. And so, a lot of companies like this are probably going to legitimize themselves. So that way that when, the IRS or anybody tries to put regulations in and then they go to run the legitimacy of these token companies, they got, these LLCs and DBAs and stuff like that. So they're protected with tax identification numbers and, so it's pretty. I think that's what's going to save a lot of these smaller companies is going with the legal backing and protecting themselves.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that whatsoever.
Well,
Um,
this company right here in Wyoming is obviously setting a pace, right? But we've already seen like companies like Galaxy Digital, right? We were talking about them before.
right.
Uh, like Galaxy Digital, or there's this other one. It's called Bitcoin Services, right? And I believe their ticker is called BTBT or something like that, right? And so they do. There's companies out there that have already set the pace for backing themselves with LLCs for the crypto, right? But there's not a company that has done a DAO that has been recognized. So that's pretty good. That's a good step forward in the right direction. And I feel that if we keep going in this direction, that we might just have some faith that they'll let the blockchain be that can continue to be the way it is.
Yeah, that's what we have to hope for is that we get some regulation, but not regulation that's hindering to the technology. We'll go ahead and we'll
Yeah,
move on.
exactly. Or hindering an investor, like
Yeah,
obviously we want these scammers and, rug pull artists to be dealt with, right? Or people, to be prevented from being able to do that. But, once you start putting regulations in, you start scaring people away from getting involved.
yeah, that's very true. We'll go ahead and move into the next topic, which is scams. Crypto scams are preying on the vulnerable people. Many victims are deceived online, including an elderly woman who lost thousands. So we'll go ahead and we'll read this story about this woman. So a woman that was 77 years old lost more than $12,000 on a Bitcoin scam in um, says the Chicago Tribune. Um, the
That's terrible.
the Indiana-based victim was deceived into handing over personal financial details. The incident highlights the surge in crypto-related scams in the recent months. Crypto scams are on the rise, with victims often being tricked out of thousands of dollars. This was backed up by recent data from the FTC, which shows that since October of 2020, consum- consumers have reported losing more than 80 million to cryptocurrency scams. This represents an increase of more than tenfold year over year. In one such case, a 77-year-old woman lost more than $12,000 after being lured into a Bitcoin scam. The incident occurred after the Indiana-based woman received an email alert last month claiming to warn her of fraudulent activity on her PayPal account. She was advised to buy $3,500 in Bitcoin on the cryptocurrency trading platform Coinbase and was later instructed to share her bank details. The, out, the outlet reported this led to 6 withdrawals totaling to 8,800. The scammers eventually stealing over 12,000 from her. The incident forms part of the recent surge in crypto. Yeah, you already said that. On Thursday, members of esports organization Faze Clan were suspended following allegations that their Save the Children cryptocurrency may have been a scam, per insider Steven Asarach.
Wait, what was this?
It says on Thursday, members of an esports organization named Faze Clan was suspended from for
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I heard about this. Yep, I heard about this one actually.
So
Yeah, Dogecoin Kid, an NFT artist that I follow, I'm actually really cool with, was posting something about this. They actually rug pulled on a Save the Children token.
yeah,
They pulled thousands of dollars off of this token, which sucks because like if you're gonna come out with a token like that and then you rug pull, like that
yeah,
just sets a real bad image for a lot of people that are actually.
yeah. I don't disagree. It's really unfortunate that people would use essentially sick or dying children as a ploy to steal money from others. But unfortunately, it happens. Says Kota Totaku, I'm not sure, reported that tons of fans pumped money into this scheme, believing their investment was protected by the high profile of those endorsing it, only to see their money disappear almost overnight. Faze Clan had absolutely no involvement with our members' activity in the cryptocurrency space, and we strongly condemn their behavior. A statement posted on Twitter by the Faze Clan. In another incident, an online dating user became embroiled in a cryptocurrency scam that lost him about £20,000 back in May. The user, who was given the pseudonym James Evans by the outlet, said that he had felt that he had built a genuine connection with a man on Grindr, but it soon became aware he was manipulating him into a scam. Crypto scammers often go to great lengths to lure their victims. In the Indiana case, that woman received an email stating that almost $500 had been withdrawn from her account and that she would need to call a specific number to rectify the issue. Once she had once she was on the line, the man convinced her to invest in the currency. He offered to walk the woman through the complicated purchase by accessing her phone via screen sharing facility. Upon instruction, she shared her bank account information and even provided the scammer with a state photo ID of herself. It does not seem that at a certain age, too many people can be susceptible to these types of scams. These types of criminals prey on the genuine goodness of people. They are preying on their trusting nature, he added. And this is the police sergeant Dave, whatever his last name is, of the Chesterton Police. So eventually, her bank account. Eventually, her bank helped the woman retrieve a small fraction of $2,000 of the money that she had lost. So essentially, when it comes to this story and some of the other stories that were in here, you have to realize that you really need to be you need to be vigilant. You need to pay attention to what it is that you're doing, and in all reality, 9 times out of 10, you're never going to receive any kind of notification in that manner from like an outside source, right? If something's going on with your bank account, your bank is going to contact you via an email or whatever, however you're set up with them. Your bank is going to have some kind of automated system that's going to be doing that. It's not going to come from some third party. That's just the fact of the matter. The other thing is, like, if something seems like it's too good to be true, then it most likely is, and you should probably be really cautious of that. One of the big things that when it comes to these cryptocurrency scams is that people aren't realizing that not every cryptocurrency out there is going to make you a millionaire. Not every cryptocurrency out there is a valid project. And so a lot of people hop into so many DeFi projects, and sometimes they make really bad decisions based on some really sketchy information that I would consider. Because if somebody's like, hey man, I just invested into this, and they basically give them a brief description and really push for them to go into it, but they don't really even have any knowledge themselves, it's those kind of things that it's just like you have to really be vigilant when it comes to
All right, let's break this down real fast. The difference, okay? Not a lot of people out there in the investing world know the difference between cryptocurrency and what a lot of people are investing in right now are the tokens, right? So the cryptocurrency, obviously, the difference, but this is for the viewers. The cryptocurrency is the native coin. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Binance, Matic, Polygon. Let's see. Tron is a native coin. It's actually an ERC20 token, but it still runs its own network, right? Decentralized network.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all these coins, right? And then you get Baby Dogecoin, Feg token, Burn One coin, 100x coin, Hold token, all these different token projects, right? And people think they're investing into cryptocurrency when they're investing into these tokens. And so the difference between those two is the crypto is the native coin. That's what buys you the token. That's what still powers the token. You still have to use cryptocurrency to even function that token, and the token just lives on the blockchain. The native coin like Binance or Ethereum, those would power the blockchain, right? You can't power a blockchain with the token unless you program it to, operate the blockchain. I'm sure it takes, a lot of time to make sure something like that happens. But so that's the difference between those two. A cryptocurrency is like Dogecoin. A token is like Baby Dogecoin. That's something that you still have to use Binance to buy, or Binance to use, or Binance to send, or Binance, So that's the difference between those two. Now, the thing is with these tokens, this is where I'm trying to put a little bit of expertise into with gaining knowledge on how to spot and I won't necessarily say track, but spot and expose, some scams, right? As people know, I've been working on trying to develop an app and a website to allow people to come put user input into the website and deliver, some kind of, hey, I got scammed on this contract address, and then we'll take it. You guys know the whole 9 yards. We're going to take it, put it in the Ethereum virtual machine, let it live on the blockchain forever, so that anytime you type in the contract address, it comes up as a scam, right? So the thing with these smart contracts is that people don't know what to look for inside of the smart contract that deciphers what's a legit project and what's a scam, because that's where it's at. It's not in the forefront of the project. Everybody's going to push the project like it's the greatest thing on earth, right? But it's really what's in the programming that makes it whether or not it's a scam. Some of these contracts can be programmed with a function or a modifier in there that allows people to buy, but they can't sell. So they'll take their coins thinking, oh yeah, I'm about to get 20 grand off of my token, right? Oh my God, I just put 800 bucks in here and now I'm sitting on 20 grand. Now I'm gonna cash out. It's only gonna cost me like 12 bucks in Binance, right, to sell this. Then they go to try to sell, they can't sell. Price impact is crazy. Okay? Well, that's because the contract itself had a function inside of there that stopped people from being allowed to sell that token. And then there's another function also that people need to look for. It's called only owner. And that's sometimes used, actually I will say all times, used in bad contracts. All right, in my eyes. I don't know why you would have an only owner function in any of your contracts, unless you're using it as like a governance token to where you would turn around and maybe sell it back to the market or something on your own platform to use for like development funds. It's the only time I would ever say that's an A-OK or something, right? But then there's these other ones too. Like, we'll talk about it. It just happened today. There's this one, it's called Doge Life, right? And supposedly, they were supposed to be the first Binance BEP20 token to rest on the smart chain that allows you to purchase and then turn around, hold it in the wallet, and you gain Dogecoin for staking your Doge Life, right? So they went on bragging about, how much Dogecoin someone was getting today, about 5 times. I noticed this. Well, then I turned around and next thing you know, someone messaged me and said, hey, what happened to Doge Life? And I said, what do you mean? They said their website's gone and everything's gone. And I went to their Twitter, it was gone. And so I went to this new company that's out right now, which is awesome. Rugscreen.app, I believe it is. Rugscreen on Twitter. You can go find them. They're awesome. And you can, if you feel that a contract is fishy and you feel that there's something wrong, you can enter or submit it to them for a contract bounty. And they'll scan the contract. If it's a scam, they will repost it on their Twitter. So what really bothered me about this contract is that when I went to look at the contract address, I noticed that the actual contract itself was not compiled, so you couldn't read it. The actual string code inside of the contract itself was private, and it wasn't compiled. In order to read it, you had to compile it. So I compiled it, read it, and I was like, oh, this is weird. Not payable function on almost every string of code in there. And so I thought that was kind of weird. And so I turned it into this rug screen. Come to find out, they turned around and reposted it 5 minutes after I turned it in, and sure, it was a scam. They only got $680 in their liquidity pool, and earlier it was, $20,000-$30,000. So they rugged tonight. That's how you will find out if a project is a scam or not. You must read the contract. Especially if it's a token, read the contract address. Go to the contract address, read the contract. If you don't understand it, go to Solidity So just Google Solidity Docs, and it will take you right to the document website on Solidity, and you can find out exactly what each code and function and modifier does. So that's how people need to prepare themselves and educate themselves right now with these smart contracts, is being able to understand the contract and find out what modifiers and what functions are going to be in there that are going to expose the contract itself for being a scam. And that's, I feel, one of the biggest parts of education that we need right now.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt about that. We'll go ahead and we'll move into our next topic, which is the Bank of France carries out their their fifth CBDC experiment with BNP Paribas Euroclear. This experiment made it possible to test the integration of a
Issuance?
no, I was clearing my throat, sorry, of
Yeah.
issuance and settlement activities, including exchanges on the secondary market, said the Bank of France. It says the Bank of France said it carried out its fifth experiment with central bank digital currency in March with a number of investment banks such as BNP Paribas and the clearinghouse Euroclear. In an announcement on Monday, the bank said that the experiment was conducted with European blockchain firm LiquidShare, and it involved the issuance and settlement of both unlisted and listed securities using blockchain technology. Other organizations involved in the experiment include AXA Investment Managers, CACEIS Bank, CIC Market Solutions, Credit, Argicol, Titris, Euronext, Kiptown, La Banque Postel, and more. This experiment made it this experiment made it possible to test the integration of issuance and settlement activities, including exchanges on the secondary market. In June, the bank announced that the new CBDC experiment with the Swiss National Bank, dubbed Project Jura, involving the bank-to-bank wholesale lending market, not public transactions. The Bank of France said that its other experiments are ongoing, and the lessons learned will play an important part in analyzing the benefits of centralized bank digital currencies.
Yeah, I think we already talked about banks and digital currencies.
Oh, we have.
JP Morgan was the one to really set the pace for that. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think it really just depends on how they end up using it, right? It really depends on if they try to use it, properly, if they try to make it into some, stupid system that it, does things that you really wouldn't want a cryptocurrency to do.
Right, yeah, no doubt.
Because, it it wouldn't take them much to try and make a blockchain that also makes it into an empty money system. If they make it to where all transactions are unviewable, you would never know, right? You would just get whatever is viewable for you on yours, and that would be it. You would, just like how you do at a regular bank, you don't get to see everyone else's transactions at a regular bank. So that's exactly how that's going to go. So I'm honestly kind of worried about them experimenting with this blockchain technology and essentially trying to figure out a way to coerce people into thinking that, oh yes, we have figured out how to integrate this blockchain technology with our current system, and everything will be fine, and we can actually move into cryptocurrencies so long as they're based like this. And that's what I'm really worried about, is them trying to push a narrative that they've made this amazing discovery to where they could integrate both together and it be a perfect system. And I'm just really scared of them trying to, and I'm not talking about France in particular, I'm talking about central banks across the world. I'm just really afraid they're going to try and push this narrative onto individuals to make it seem like yeah, cryptocurrencies are great, but only if you go with our system, because our system is going to be the most perfect, the best, most secure system that you
Either
can, you know what I mean?
this is exactly what I'm fearing myself, is because the system itself is already the most secure transaction system in the world. The most. The blockchain itself. Okay? Bitcoin. Sending Bitcoin to another individual is more secure than sending cash from my bank to yours. And that's just how it goes. I mean, granted, sending money from my bank to yours is pretty secure, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly
Don't get me wrong.
secure.
But if your PIN number on your card, or even your credit card number itself, is exposed anywhere, they can take that information and make a ghost card with your credit card number. And these people are smart with that. Okay? When it comes to Bitcoin and crypto, the only way that anybody can really even get your cryptocurrency is if you don't do your own research on the project that you're investing in, for one. For two, if your seed phrase, your private seed phrase, is exposed, and that can also get exposed with a bad smart contract or a bad token that you're investing in, like it happened to me. Just, like that kind of stuff right there. That's the only two kind of ways that you can get hacked, is poor security and just not doing your own research and putting your money in a bad spot. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And
Or allowing someone to have access to your most private information. That's the only ways that you can get hacked on a blockchain. You cannot. All right, so these guys think that they're going to improve network security, right? And make like the best, most secure blockchain ever because we're the banks. I guarantee you any money that their systems are going to have more security flaws than any blockchain that has been in existence since 2013. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be, because this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna end up. I promise you, they are going to build a blockchain with a backdoor for themselves, thinking that they will be able to secure that backdoor for themselves at all times, and that's how they're gonna end up. That's what's gonna end up really crumbling it.
You know how ETFs work, right? In the stock market, I think it's equally traded funds or something like that. Something, right? Okay, so these are traded funds, right? That means that when you're investing in a stockbroker, unless you opt out of it verbally and manually, or they give you the option to, your funds are going into someone else's pocket regardless. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it still looks like we talked about with the banks last time, right? When you investing money with a bank, you give money to a bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, money doesn't just sit there. Your number sits there. When you go on your phone app or something, you're looking at your bank account, you got $48,000 in there. It looks like there's $48,000 in there, but there's really not, because the bank's playing with your money in the market.
Yeah, it's exactly like how we were talking a couple streams ago when we said that,
exactly.
the empty money system, and that's exactly what, I feel like that's exactly what they're going to end up doing with what they're, this blockchain experiment. And I mean,
that's
just like,
what I'm getting at, man, they're going to do the same thing they're doing with the stock market, right? And they're going to try to be slick about it. They're going to act like you have $43,000 worth of Bitcoin in your account. But if you were to go to try to withdraw $43,000 worth of Bitcoin in your account, it's going to send like an alert to the bank, like, hey, this person's trying to withdraw that amount. We better get that money there now,
Yeah, exactly. And that's the big thing about it, because think about it. Why is it that you have to claim anything over $10,000? And just think about that. Why would you need to claim anything over $10,000 with the bank and with the government. It's not just for legalities to make sure you're not doing anything strange with the money, you're not laundering, you're not doing it for illicit activity. No, it's because they're like, all right, so this is happening. So, you got to make sure that you do all this, because what's going to end up happening is you're probably going to end up liquidating out, I wouldn't say like, all the money out of that particular bank, but you're going to be liquidating out a fair percentage, right? I'm not saying it's going to be like 50 or 60%. Banks generally have hundreds of thousands of dollars on hand, but all it would take is 200 people, 300 people to go in and ask for the same amount, and that bank would be screwed. And they would have to go to their bank and ask their bank for that level of money, and then their bank would be like, oh dear, and because they only would have so much more, right? So then if other banks are doing the same thing, you see how it compounds, and that's what happened in 2008. People went to go and collect their loans or pull out massive amounts of money because of some kind of market fear that they were in, and it absolutely shattered the economy because the money was not there. It did not exist. They talk about, oh, these digital currencies, I just don't know if they're real. I can't see how you would, want to be with anything that's backed by nothing. But yet the central banking systems work on this empty money system, to where in reality they have one number in their bank, and then they just consider what you have to be just theirs too. They're holding in custody of it, and so it's theirs, right? Supposedly in their mind, and then they tell everyone else, yeah, this is how much we got, but in all reality they have a very small sum in comparison. And
that's kind of what I think they're going to try to do, man, is they're going to try to be like, hey guys, guess what, we got the most secure system in the world. And then you're going to be like, oh yeah, you're my bank, yeah, you probably do. And then you put your money there, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's just being lent out to the day traders.
right, so we'll go ahead and we'll leave that where it's at, and then we'll move on to the last main topic, which is Bitcoin is in danger of losing 30K, losing, I guess they're saying, the 30K position with Grayscale's big GBTC unlocking in 2 weeks. So this is what people are apparently are worried about. It says Bitcoin prices remain under pressure in between the $30,000 to $40,000 zone as traders brace for the $16,000 Bitcoin worth, or the 16,000 Bitcoin worth of GBTC shares unlocking in July. Grayscale's premium remains negative. The argument concerns Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, the world's largest digital asset manager that allows institutional investors to gain indirect exposure in the Bitcoin market through its product, G, which would be Grayscale Bitcoin. Right? Investors purchase GBTC shares directly via Grayscale in daily private placements by paying either with Bitcoin or US dollars. Nevertheless, investors can sell their GBTC or their Grayscale Bitcoin shares only after 6 months of a lockup period in secondary markets or other parties. Therefore, they anticipate a liquidating at a premium when the market price at the same time of the sale crosses above the native asset value. Says, on the other hand, liquidating Grayscale Bitcoin shares when the market price has dipped below the NAV brings losses. So if investors decide to dump their Grayscale Bitcoin holdings, they would have to do so for a financial loss, or a financial casualty, as they say. That is because the share has been trading at a discount, i.e., under its NAV, since February 24th of 2021. Some analysts, include strategists at JP Morgan, believe that the accredited investors will sell at least a portion of their Grayscale Bitcoin holdings after July's unlocking period, thus weighing further on the ongoing Bitcoin market downtrend. Despite this correction, we are reluctant to abandon our negative outlook for Bitcoin and crypto markets more generally. So despite some improvement, our signals remain overall bearish, says Nicholas Penn. Oh man, that guy's name. The
Yeah.
lead strategist at JP Morgan, in a note to a client. It says, nevertheless, other analysts believe that the event will flush sellers from the market in July, opening up both volatility for and bullish potential to break out to new all-time highs. Bitcoin's price correlated to grayscale. Is the Bitcoin price correlated to the grayscale unlock dates? It says that it is the grayscale Bitcoin shares that were scooped up by investors at a 40% premium in December of 2020. The month saw Grayscale Bitcoin Trust attractive inflow of $2 billion, followed by $1.7 billion in January. That means that 140,000 Bitcoin worth of shares will be unlocked by the end of July. About 139,000 Bitcoin have already been released between mid-April to mid-June, and a period that is also concise with the spot BTC/USD crashes around 65,000 to as low as 28,800. So essentially, what they're saying is that a lot of people are very worried that when these next set of funds from January finally unlock, that there's going to be a mass sell-off, even though the people that would be doing that mass sell-off would be selling off at a loss, which really doesn't make sense to me. As an investor, why would you ever sell out at a loss? Um, I I think that kind of defeats the point of investing. I mean, if you would like to go and buy at the top and sell at the bottom, I mean, be my guest, throw all your money away. I'm happy to collect it for you. But I just don't. I don't see where that would be in the best interest of any of these institutional investors, unless they were simply going to be using it for some kind of tax deduction purpose. And even then, I mean, all these multi-million, multi-billion dollar organizations, they pretty well already have all that on lockdown. So, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, under Doge? Do you think that, at the end of July that we could potentially see a mass crash to potentially as low as $16,000 or lower?
No. Hell no. Just because of that stupid stock? No way. That stock doesn't mean anything. Bitcoin was here before that stock.
Yeah, and
The
so
the $16,000 Bitcoin's long gone. If we do happen to see it go down to $16,000, guarantee you're going to see a ton of people pouring money right into it.
and that's why I don't
Why?
even think we could reach that.
I don't think so either.
I could see
Honestly,
I could
I see
see 20.
the only way that we could see that happening, right, is the number one wallet just draining their wallet completely empty for the next 2 weeks. Whoever the top holder of Bitcoin is just drains their wallet completely, just lets it all go out within the next week or two. That's the only way I could see that price dropping that low. Is maybe even that or the top 3 holders. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the top 100 holders that hold, a certain percentage, or top 20 holders or something like that hold it, even a fraction of the majority of Bitcoin, right? So it's not just 1 or 2 or 3 wallets that hold 10 or 12% of Bitcoin or something. It's a lot of wallets, right? So, I mean, in order to see that, though, we'd have to see like the number 1 through like number 3 wallets just dump their Bitcoins out in the next couple of days. I don't see that happening. So, not in no 30,000. I mean, yeah, they probably could skim a ton of profits. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
that's what
know
I'm
people that have been invested since 2015, 2016, and they're still sitting on millions right now, right? So if they wanted to, they could be skimming profits, sure. But the only way we're ever going to see that price drastically drop like that is somebody who's sitting on billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin just piss it away.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is that I could see potentially getting as low as, let's say, 20,000, like in that 21 to 20,000 range. I could see it potentially getting that low, but I don't think we will see it. I don't think you're going to see a $19,000 Bitcoin or a 16,000 or lower.
Essentially, this article is trying to say that we're going to see a crash to 16,000. Like, this is the kind of crap. This crap right here is the reason why I don't read the news. You know why? Because this crap right here is telling you that if we don't see it happen within the next couple of weeks, they're going to make it happen or attempt to.
So what
And
I think would happen if you saw like a mass sell off and you saw Bitcoin drop to like 20K or something like that, you know who's going to swoop in and start buying the hell out of it? Who's been buying the hell out of Bitcoin, as an institution here lately? Who's been going crazy with it?
fucking Tesla, man.
No, Michael Saylor.
Oh yeah, Michael Saylor has. You're right. You're
That guy
absolutely
has been just
yeah.
pouring money in. I mean, he is just throwing money wherever he can get it to get more Bitcoin. Do you think that if
Well,
Bitcoin was to drop down to like 20K, you don't think that he would throw as much as he could at that moment? Come on now.
not only him, but Galaxy Digital would as well.
Oh yeah, for
A lot
certain.
of a lot of these companies, if they seen it get down to 20,000, man, you best believe they're gonna take about 6 zeros and drop it in there. At least 6 zeros. At least. Why wouldn't you? If you had billions of dollars and you could get one of the most prominent cryptocurrencies for $20,000 a coin, man, you'd be a fool not to. You'd be a fool not to at least put $2-3 million in there, right?
Right.
So, especially if you're sitting on that money. Why? Because the future is cryptocurrency. Regardless if people want to see it or not, and regardless of what we have to defeat, what tasks we're going to have to kind of go head to head with here in the future, regardless, cryptocurrency is here to stay. It's not going nowhere. I mean, granted, we're probably going to have to fight the government on a lot of shit to get them to stay out of our hair. And we're going to have to do a lot of training our minds to be educated, right? We got to know what we're doing. We can't just be in here being blind. It's like, you hear about cryptocurrency and then the next day you're dumping $70,000 into a project you didn't even read about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's just a scary world. And I'm not going to say that cryptocurrency field itself is a scary world because we live in a freaking scary world. The same stuff that can happen to you on the cryptocurrency blockchain of any cryptocurrency or in any network, any social media website is the same thing that can happen to you at the grocery store. All right, people need to start realizing that. Like, you hear about people going to grocery stores and getting mugged or something, or getting their car stolen or something like that, right? Like, think of your cryptocurrency as your car.
Wow. So, sorry that I cut you off right there. I was looking at some of the projects we were going to talk about. I was looking at Baby Dogecoin. Looks like
Okay.
I'll go ahead and I'll bring it up real fast.
This project right here is freaking killing the game. They
So,
are doing mass numbers right now. They've just broke past 330,000 holders the other day.
yeah, so it looks like July 4th at looks like about 2:30ish, something like that. I'm having a hard time getting it to here, let me just do that. There we go.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it
Whoa.
had this huge spike, here at about, 11:42 yesterday on July 4th, you know, bring it back out like how I had it. I mean, you see the spike. I mean, that's a tremendous spike right there.
Yeah, that's quite ridiculous. I'm not even gonna lie. Yesterday when I was looking at my wallet, um, I was wondering. I'm like, why? Why is Baby Dogecoin, my little 80-cent investment that I bought the other day? I'm like, why is it worth like $17 right now? I was like, what in the F is happening? It was insane. I was just watching this thing. I kept refreshing it. It kept going from like 10 to 15, 10 to 14, 10. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, they were having a lot of fun yesterday. I can tell you that much right now.
Well,
Um,
I really enjoy that project, though. It's a pretty good project, man.
yeah, and I
Like,
mean they're still doing fairly well. I mean even after that spike in the drop, I mean they're still holding relatively flat. Um, they even I think it said that they were on a bit of an incline still, even with that. I think it's still
yeah,
on
I
an
mean,
incline.
on the 1 day chart, they're still up 12%. I mean, right now they're kind of on a downward, according to Trust. They're on a downward, but,
Well, I
uh,
mean for the day, yeah, they've well actually I mean technically for the day they're still up, a little bit. They're for the day they're up 16%. But they did hit, they did go fairly high, you know, on the 5th. Not like how on the 4th, of course. And then they kind of trickled down from that, but they're still currently above you know, where they started out 24 hours ago. On this 24-hour period, they're still up. They're up by about 16.66% right now. So,
yeah, they're doing pretty good on the 24-hour chart. I mean, on the 1 day chart, they're down a little bit, but that's the thing we were talking about too. On some of these token projects, you're going to see those huge fucking pumps at first, right? Those huge spikes. Then you're going to kind of see it dip off for a little bit. Give them a few weeks, they'll be right back up there. And I think that that's where they'll make their comfort zone at. Is where that spike was, maybe not so high, but right in the middle of it, maybe. They're gonna come back. They help dogs, you get reflections. It's a good project. Granted, a lot of people dislike it because they say it mimics Dogecoin or something of that nature. That's fine. I respect that.
got to come out with that Papa Dogecoin now.
Yeah, dude, they got cousin Dogecoin, Papa Dogecoin. It's just that's getting a little ridiculous. I'll give the Dogecoin community that respect for sure. Like a lot of these token projects need to be a little more original with the names. The baby Dogecoin, I enjoy it. I invested. I do like the community. They're just as cool as the Dogecoin community, and the fact that they're already at 330 plus thousand holders is just absolutely phenomenal. And I hope that the Dogecoin community can kind of just like let bygones be bygones and accept baby Dogecoin as like it's not. I don't think that these projects are being created like Baby Dogecoin, right? I don't think Baby Dogecoin was created to like replace Dogecoin ever, right? Because nothing's ever going to replace Dogecoin. If any of these things become a currency, it's going to be Dogecoin. All right, let's be real.
That and I mean, you see what their total supply is. I think it'd be pretty hard to try and
Well, my thing too though is like, if they were really mad about Baby Dogecoin, right? Then they have to be mad about Dogecoin, BEP20 Dogecoin, right? Because it's not the original Dogecoin. It was created to mimic Dogecoin on the Binance network. right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even a real Dogecoin, it's BEP20 version.
Right.
So
So
that's my thing is like, if, like, I love the Dogecoin community, don't get me wrong. Like, and this is not just for the Dogecoin community. This is for any general investor, right? If you just like baby Dogecoin because of the name, and because it's, a Binance token with, baby Dogecoin, and you got to be mad about Dogecoin on Binance Network because it's not powered by Dogecoin. That's just that's using that logic, right? That's all I'm saying. Is just
right.
applying the same logic that they're arguing about some of these tokens. It's just applying their logic to a realistic situation. But I mean, there's a lot of good projects on the Binance and Ethereum networks right now, and even coming out on the Polygon network too right now.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna ask. Was there any projects that you wanted me to pull up before we closed out the show?
Um, yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk about some. Let me pull up my trust wallet right now. Do 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 do. Yeah, so this I had this one, man. It was nice for a minute, and it seems like a lot of people are backing out of it. We're not gonna really talk about it at all, so you ain't gonna really pull it up. But I just was just looking at the chart right before we were starting to talk about it, and I was like, "Damn, this thing just was worth a lot of money, and then now it's just not worth nothing. It just went right to poop." Feg token. Let's talk about Feg token real fast, okay? I know we talk about them quite a bit, but they're doing something real spectacular right now. They're down in New York City in their Feg token bus. And I believe that their marketing campaign for New York City is live right now. FegX version 2, I believe, is live right now. They're kind of down right now on the 1-day chart, but dude, they're doing phenomenal things. So it doesn't matter how up or down they are.
Yeah, I
This
mean
is
it's more about what the project's doing, because you gotta, you always gotta remember that when it comes to cryptocurrencies or even tokens, this is about investing. This is not about being rich tomorrow. This is about investing. This is
I
about
mean, some of these you can yes.
yeah. It's
Some
not
of
a
these go to with that mentality. Hey,
oh
I
yeah. I
like it,
mean
but a lot of these, like Feg actually serves like for a real good purpose. You know what I'm saying? Or like a certain purpose, like a real use case. Like you can actually wrap your Doge, wrap your Bitcoin, wrap your XRP, wrap your Cardano, wrap your Litecoin, wrap any coin you want, right? With Feg token, and then stake it and get double the rewards you would anywhere else. That's why Feg token is awesome. Like you can stake your Dogecoin with Feg token. You
right.
just wrap it and you stake it, and you get more rewards there than you would, for the most places that you can stake your Dogecoin or stake anything at.
Right.
And I think that they're a really great project. They have a really bright future. It's tokens like that I would definitely recommend getting, a couple of dollars into. And that's not investment advice. That's just my opinion, like, and that's just being personally me. I put a couple of bucks in there, right? And I'm happy I did because I like the project. Not, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the token and how much money I'm going to make. Like you said, I like the project. I'm investing into the project because I see a future for them.
Yeah.
Just like the next one we're going to talk about. Let's see. Man, Moon Nation. I'm not sure if you heard about them. We were just talking about them, earlier. Moon Nation is. I won them these tokens in a contest actually, but it's a video game, so it's actually really sweet. They're doing pretty good for themselves, to
Yeah,
be
sitting
honest.
at a tenth of a cent. They got
Yeah.
384 million for the max supply. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, we know that there's
It's
there's much
utility
smaller.
token.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like we know that there's much smaller max supplies out there, total supplies out there, right? So I mean, 384 million. I think that's a that's a pretty decent number.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they have a circulating supply and a total supply, so it's a utility token to play their game. So
right.
I mean, dude, they're doing pretty good. I like the community. They're really nice. They're really nice people, man. Over at Moon Nation, they're really cool. They care about the community, and you don't get a lot for your money, but there's a reason for that because of that supply,
Yeah.
So, and I think their decimals might only be 9. Yeah, they're only sitting on 9 decimals. So the difference between the decimals, you obviously know this, but for viewers, when you're getting in 9, you're going to get less for your money, but it'll be worth more. When you're investing into an 18 decimal project, you're going to get a lot more, so it'll be worth less right now, but in the future it could be worth more. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what a lot of people also don't take into consideration too. Is they'll be like, "Oh, I only got 52 for $25." Yeah, well, did you look and see? It could be 9 decimals. Whatever. Like, and when you're buying into 18 decimals, you're buying 18 decimals worth of this token before you reach a whole one.
Right. Right. So give us
So,
one more good project before we close out the show. Give me your
all
favorite
right.
one.
My favorite one. Don't do that. All right. So, Noob. If we're gonna say my favorite one, let's talk about Noob Token, man. We haven't talked about them in a minute. I was talking to the team, trying to get them on here to do an AMA, but they've been extremely busy whipping up the website, trying to get their first product released called Noob Approved. It kind of seems like that they've been communicating with the community, right, about what's going on. All right, but it just kind of seems like because they're working so hard on the website that there hasn't been a lot going on inside of the community itself. So it seems like they're losing like a little bit in the community, but that's okay because they'll bounce right back when they release Noob Approved fully and the website's fully updated and ready to go. They have another project, coming out, so I'll let their Twitter page tell you guys about that. Of course, we're going to see a couple dumps and sell-offs here. It's just like any other tokens chart. We're going to see ups and downs, man. But Noob Token is obviously one of those projects that is here to benefit the community, to keep it SAFU, safe, and keep everybody aware, and let people know that, hey, you can educate yourselves over here, and you can earn by educating yourselves over here on Noob Token. So I'm really excited to see what's going on and what happens here with Noob. One of my favorite projects to ever touch down on the Binance network. And it just seems like they got a lot going on. They help a lot of projects too, man. So, like they work with a lot of projects to try to help educate people. So that to me right there stands out, and I like the project. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm a holder just like you, and I intend to be holding for quite some time.
yeah,
So
myself as well. Just because not only am I a holder, but I'm a holder because I believe in the project. I believe they're in their vision, right? Their vision is to try and help people who, were once in my shoes a couple months ago who didn't have a freaking clue about crypto, But I took the initiative, went and educated myself on all sorts of stuff: stocks, trading, margin trading, calls, puts, things of this, options, futures. Then I went into crypto and started teaching myself about blockchain, all that stuff. So I wanted to make sure that, I'm putting my money here. I don't want to be stupid about it. So I had to educate myself. But had I known about Nuke Token, they obviously weren't a thing when I got in February. But if they were to have been around in February and been doing what they're doing now and teaching people on how to invest and what to look for, I probably would have saved myself so much money. I'll probably be worth a little bit more money than I am right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's a project everyone should be looking into. So,
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to, bring them up because they got a lot of good things coming up here. So, I mean, just stay tuned to what they're getting ready to release because it's going to be some good stuff, man. They got a lot of good stuff going on. I'm really looking forward to it.
I don't disagree. Well, everyone, that's it for tonight. We all hope that you have a great night or a great day, depending on where you're at and when you're listening. So, you have a good one. Crypto Invest is out.
Take care, guys.